Hey, GLP-1 plus size community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better and my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper. With results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster. Confidence higher. Price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together. The Plus Sides Podcast, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone.
In most countries, y'all, obesity I didn't know this until preparing for this show. Obesity kills more people than malnutrition.
True story.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Is that not like an oxymoron? Like, I just can't, I can't even, it's like jumbo shrimp. I just was like, what?
Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah.
Makes
me, you know what I mean? You said oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's the
I know.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh.
I don't know. It's just it's like
80s
like
pop
the
culture
opposite.
reference. I don't know. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
don't know, yeah.
it's so good for randoms. Just
That was a big one for me. And then
There's
she
those
has another one about
one-liners.
alcoholism.
What I'm hearing is that it's a brain thing.
Yes.
And this is a question. I remember many years ago on the Oprah show, I don't know, decades ago now, when I was first having this conversation trying to explain to the public why alcoholism was a disease. And many people did not believe that alcoholism was a disease. They just thought people overdrink and that why don't you just put the bottle down? So how is this somehow relatable to that? Because every person that overdrinks is not an alcoholic. Every person that overeats is not necessarily have obesity as a disease. Absolutely. Can you explain that? Why for some they're just overeaters and some it's a disease because of the brain thing, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's about how much we take in and how much we store. So we all have those friends. My husband is here in the audience. He's this friend of mine who can eat whatever he wants and he doesn't really store that. And you're like, how is that even possible? And then we have those people that look at pizza and they're like, my gosh, I just looked at it and I feel like I stored it.
Yeah. Where are you, husband?
Husband is in the back corner over there.
Yeah, husband has a name. Thank you. Corey. Thank you. Corey can eat apple pie at 11 o'clock at night.
And he's able to do this. His body defends a very lean set point. He's able to eat what he wants and his body just defends that lean set point. If I were to do the exact same behaviors, I would store more excess adipose. My body is more predisposed to storing more fat.
Damn sure mine is.
Yeah.
Is that the word I've been looking for? Adipose.
Yes.
I'm an adipose storer. Okay, all right. So that is a scientific fact.
That's a scientific
that some
fact.
people's bodies operate differently than others. We can accept that, right?
Yes.
We can see that.
Wow.
I appreciated that. I appreciated her in that moment. Bringing that
this hit
to-
me.
And did you guys see
That's
Lee?
something we can
Did
grab
you see
onto,
Lee in the
know?
audience when they went
We
to
saw
Hudson?
Lee!
Yeah, we saw Lee.
Her husband was sitting right behind me.
Oh, was
So
he?
that I know.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
missed
why
it.
my
I totally missed it.
Anyway, yeah.
anyway.
I was just thinking he was handsome. I was like, oh, he's a handsome husband. I didn't see Lee.
He was handsome. I'm
He
handsome
was
too.
handsome.
Yeah. I thought you were saying I'm handsome, but then I'm realizing you meant
You
that
were handsome.
he was he's handsome, but that's okay. That's okay.
Both of you all.
He overshadowed
We're-
you just
are
a little.
There's a lot to unpack. There was a lot to unpack in that clip.
Yes.
Right there.
There was. That was a juicy one. I did appreciate her saying, here's something like this. You know what I mean? We can accept that, can't we? And, I got to say, honestly, I don't think I always accepted that alcoholism was a disease. And it's pretty big in my family. I'm not going to lie. That and like heart stuff. I'm hoping I can get ahead of that a little, but it's pretty big in my family. And I think that I kind of went the other way, and went the food route, but that same sort of feeling, that insatiable piece is something that I deal with all the time. I mean, not now, thank God, thank you, Jesus. But it's like, it's something that I feel like we all deal with. And I think it was a really interesting point, but I keep thinking about how that's still not really accepted. I don't think that everybody still thinks that alcoholism is a disease. I think I hear people say all the time, no, they're just a drunk. No, they're just an addict.
No,
You know what I mean?
It's the reward
it's-
system that is like,
Yeah.
just like binge eating.
It's dysfunctioned in your brain.
Yeah. Function of
Yeah.
of
But I
reward
didn't
system.
even buy it. Right. Like because I mean, I thought it was sort of like the same thing as me. And like, it's my fault. Like I legitimately thought for all of this, that I was a lazy piece of crap. And I'm going to tell you that I don't know one lazy person in our community. Not one of them are lazy people, and I'm not either. And that's insane. I was just sick. We're all just sick and we need medicine, you know? So
I think it's
anyway,
a total
that was sort of my take. What about
mindset.
you? What about you, JT?
I mean, that was another mic drop moment, but I would love to know how, I mean, like what Lee would have to say, how the audience like reacted to that, because there were so many mic drop moments and that was one. And it was kind of like Oprah was like, well, remember when I said, and it wasn't just me, but remember when it was pretty much brought to the forefront that alcoholism is a disease. Let's look at obesity, and you need to look at it as a disease also. So it started the ball rolling, and I can appreciate that. I know alcoholism runs in my family too. And I was mainly a social drinker, and I don't, judge anyone, but I know now after being on MJ since January, I don't even really want it. Now, when I was on the plane to Europe, I did get the, pre-departure champagne. I did get that. Yeah. But it has to be something light now. It can't be like liquor, Yeah. I can't do that anymore. But it's just something light, and it's something how these medications really deal with your brain, because it just got turned off. And I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't even, and I know everyone's different, but for me, and I think for those of us that have alcoholism that runs in our family, I think that we're maybe a little more sensitive to that. And it's like, okay, I really kind of want to stay away from that, because I have never said this, but my friends were like, Jernine, you're starting to drink a lot, because I was drinking while I was home. So it was going from social to, oh, well, I'm just going to get a drink at home. When I look back at it,
Thank you, Lisa.
For me, there was a lot going on in my life at that time. And that was my way of coping. Totally. And so, I get it. I get it.
It did bother me a little when she was like, and I get it, because it's like it's a thing, right? But when she was specifically talking about, just because, with the difference between the two, it's like, but not everybody that's obese overeats, there are tons of people that struggle with obesity, and because maybe they suffer from PCOS or insulin resistance, they didn't touch on any of that, that did bother me, but I also can understand that you can't cover all of that necessarily in one segment. So I forgave
I think
it,
she's
but
going
it's
to do
still, I
something
still
else
wish.
on it.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
Lori, you were going to say something?
Oh, hey,
You were about to say something. I was like, I want to hear what Lori says.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you say, Lori?
I've forgotten now what I was going to say.
We'll come back.
Sorry.
It'll come back to you.
I have something to say.
Okay, what is it?
It's sort of, well, I don't know if this is what I was going to say before, but with this, the idea of not everybody that, that some people, it is a matter of calories in, calories out. And for a lot of people, it's not. It's unfortunate that leads to all of the gym bros and all of the if I see one more nutrition coach out there talk about, well, there's a small percentage of people that have a physiological reason, that have some kind of metabolic issue, but it's a small fraction. No, it's not. It's millions.
Yes, totally. It is. Exactly. That's so true, Lori. I think it's mostly everybody. In terms of this,
it's like at least half, isn't it?
It's millions,
40% of America.
Of people.
So
the likelihood that coach has clients on their roster that they're going to tell, it's so easy. You just follow this plan,
Totally.
The likelihood is the majority of their clients probably do have a metabolic thing, but they're out there telling them it's such a small percentage, and it's and it's the same thing sort of with alcoholism, with that you have the people who have a traumatic event in their life.
Yeah.
And they've never had a problem with alcohol before. And all of a sudden it becomes an issue with it. Yeah. Same thing that COVID, lockdown, all this kind of stuff. You have people that gained their lockdown weight kind of thing and have never had a weight problem before. But, and that it's almost like it's, you get into that moral failure kind of thing. And
totally.
And to be told, you're doing everything wrong. You did this to yourself. It's all horrible. And then you're finally losing, and to be told you're not losing the right way, and you're taking the easy way out, when in every other aspect of our lives, it's working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
And that's rewarded, and that's seen as a good thing.
So true.
But in this circumstance,
it's not okay.
Yeah.
And I have like a lot of like feelings that I really think the reason that is, and I don't know if you guys know Dr. Toomer, she's been on her show a couple times, but she said that she feels like the worst people that judge like that are the born again obese. So somebody that's what she calls them. She says they used to be obese, they lost it all, and huzzah, now they're fine, and you can do it too because they did. And she's like, those are the worst shamers out there. Yeah. Those are the worst ones. And they're like lazy excuses and stuff like that. And I think to myself, I bet you, suffering from food noise. And I bet you are white knuckling and shaming yourself every day. This is about you, not about me. You know, and that's the only way I can push through those bitches. Sorry. I might get that taken.
That bothers me
it's on YouTube.
I think the thing that bothers me most about what everybody's calling a gym bro or a gym bra, whatever, is that I know two very successful ladies in the industry, and they owned a gym together, and both of them fell off the face of the earth for a while. And I was like, I wonder where they went. Yeah. Well, they destroyed their body doing what they were doing because they were not taking in enough calories to do what they were doing to their body. And now they have completely abandoned that whole mindset and that whole theory, because they still do workout. They still do competitions. They still have amazing bodies, but they talk about, you can eat this, or you can eat this because it's like this. And they talk a lot about, like the cottage cheese movement, they do things like that. And so
the cottage cheese movement.
I love everything.
We're going
you get cottage cheese and you get cottage cheese, and we're going to make cottage cheese out of that too.
Everybody gets cottage cheese.
Everybody gets cottage cheese. How appropriate for an Oprah episode. Everybody gets
protein, but it's protein.
It was the first time I had ever been told, Brandi, just concentrate on your protein. We don't care about your calories. We don't care about this. We don't care about that. And if you could just maybe, your first goal is to make sure you get 30 minutes of walking in. And she's like, if you never do anything else, and I'm proud of you. And I was just like, oh, okay. And so watching that.
Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs force me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Sides podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus-sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus-sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through the same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
20 seconds a week, to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
Because eventually, it's going to catch up to them. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but eventually that person will have to eat most of the words that they set out towards us. Literally.
Yeah. Like that's just what the data shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my gosh.
it's
No, go. I was thinking of a
okay.
podcast with.
Yeah, I mean, and like Lori was saying, and Brandi, those are such great points. The statistically, most of those people will fail from those plans and those programs.
Totally.
Okay, maybe some of it sticks, but and I've seen in the chat some too, the majority of the people it won't work for, and the statistics back that up. Those do not work long term for most people. But also going back to that clip, the idea of obesity being a disease is for me, it was one of those aha moments just listening to it because, and it was about the topic of obesity being labeled as a disease, but also the idea of how we refer to people with obesity and with any other disease.
Yes.
And I may be jumping ahead on the clips, but this just resonated so much with me that an alcoholic is not an alcoholic; they are a person with alcoholism.
Yes.
And an autistic, I was a teacher, the student, they're not an autistic student. They're a student with autism. I'm a person with obesity. I'm not an obese patient. I'm a patient with obesity. So, the idea of transitioning, you wouldn't call a depressed person a depressed patient, or someone who's person's depressed.
The cancer one, right, Lee? Isn't that what
cancer? They talk about cancer.
Good one.
Like you have cancer. You aren't cancer.
You are not cancer.
And so that mindset shift. Yeah, that mindset shift. And there was actually they invited one, and this is a clip. If you watch the thing, there was a mom and a daughter, and the mom they brought in because the mom was very skeptical of this whole thing because her daughter was a 20-some-year-old and was, but by the end of this show, that conversation specifically about obesity being a disease shifted her mindset during the taping of the show. And I just
very powerful to hear Oprah say that. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
I think for me, like when we talk about alcoholism and cancer, even as a former obese person, I have a very hard time connecting those things, especially cancer. And I don't know why. I'm just like, nope, you don't get it. In my head, I cannot in any way put them on the same level of playing field. I don't, because I don't know how. It's so hard for me because I see my obesity as my fault anyway, still until this day. You can sit here because of my binge eating disorder, it was too many calories in. So I can't even see myself as being diseased. I try really hard, but I feel like I don't fit the criteria because I was constantly putting food in my mouth. Yes, when I was with people, it was little portions, but when I wasn't with people,
I got something for you, Brandi. Go ahead when you finish. Just say I got something for you.
So I struggle with that, but I am going to fight like hell to make sure
Yeah,
I can
interesting.
do it for everybody else, but I cannot do it for me.
I get it. Yeah.
So I went to Overeaters Anonymous a couple of years ago. I've did therapy, OA. OA did give me work. I worked with the sponsor. I went through the 12 steps. And that's one thing that we talked about through all of our meetings, all of our sessions. Obesity, binge eating, it's a disease. We have a disease. We obsess. We're compulsive overeaters. It's a disease. So, and I'd never looked at it like that before. And so just reading the text, working with my sponsor, you had, if anybody is familiar with 12-step programs, you admit you're wrong, you admit not you're wrong, you admit that you're a compulsive overeater. I'm not going to go through all the steps. You right your wrongs, you give your addiction to a higher power. But it's I would say maybe try picking up some literature if sometime in the future from Overeaters Anonymous. It'll help you feel a little bit better about this whole process. So that's where it really
don't
opened
forget
my
that
eyes.
you're shoving that, like you said, you were shoving that food in your mouth. You're doing that because something's wrong with your body. Something's wrong with up here. Let's say a normal, and we'll say again, my mom always said normal is just a setting on the washing machine, right? But like a healthy average individual is not going to just sit down and eat an entire bag of chips or eat a 2-foot-long subs or something like that. Yeah. You had a biological dysfunction in your body that was telling your brain, keep shoving the food in your mouth. That's not, I think you're still like caught up on like the willpower thing. It was not a willpower thing. It wasn't because you just wanted to just keep shoving it in. Your brain was telling you to do it. And it's, that actually is the connection with alcoholism. My mom was an alcoholic my entire life. She had a lot of really traumatic things that went on. This clip affected me so hard. Because the things, like when I was a kid, I never understood why my mom couldn't put the bottle down ever. Yeah. I always said, just put it down. Just stop drinking it. It's destroying your life. It's destroying my life. It's destroying my brother's life. And my family, my mother's family, always just treated her like something was wrong with her. And there was something wrong with her, but it wasn't a moral failing. There was nothing wrong here. There was nothing wrong in her heart. She didn't want to be addicted to alcohol. It was her brain, right? Her brain had a dysfunction that she needed to fix. And so like the analogy is totally there. It's blatant. It's on a big billboard for us all to see. It's the exact same thing that you were just talking about, Brandi, is that when you weren't around people, you couldn't stop putting the calories in your mouth. And it's because of that brain dysfunction. It's not here. It's here.
Literally like your body thinks you're starving. It doesn't know it's like it doesn't know what's going to its next meal. So it's going to make sure you give it it's like squirrels, like shoving their mouths full of
Do you know what I'm saying? Like come over you when I was binging, and I'm not binging, I would feel a calm, just a wave of calm come over.
Exactly. But it would switch just like that to guilt and shame right after,
Wow. Yeah. I think it's really interesting too that there's a whole community of within the community of people that live in a larger body who are really offended by being told that obesity is a disease, that they're saying, if you call it a disease, you're saying that there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me, that, there, and I have those people comment a lot on TikToks and have had a lot of, that I'm toxic because of trying to lose weight. And, it's a very interesting dynamic of how the perception of this.
But see, like, I think they concentrate on like the wrong, if that makes sense. Like there is something wrong, but it's something that's wrong within your body that you can't help. Yeah. Right. Same with the alcoholism, same with like a drug addiction, same with the food addiction. It's something within your body that you cannot help without fixing that blood chemistry issue that's within your body. And and like Kat pointed out about the reward center, it's the same thing, right? A drug addicted person, an alcohol addicted person, a food addicted person, they're all getting that serotonin hit to the reward center in their brain, right? And
totally.
It was, and that disease is a spectrum, that you have you have things that are a disease that if you choose not to treat it, it might be better to treat it, but you're going to be okay, at least, for quite a while. Yeah. And then there's cancer. You don't treat it, then you have this whole spectrum. And that if you don't want to, that I think that's that they're like I said, they're focusing on the wrong. And that if you're saying, you know what, I'm happy where I am and my blood work is all good. So why do I have to, you're telling me I have a disease. So that means I have to take treatment. What if I don't want to take treatment? And there's no one
you don't have to.
You have to.
It's your body.
And I think, I think there's some concern. They have some concern that it's going to become you must treat it. And Our insurance companies don't want us to treat it even when we want to.
Right, exactly. Good news. They don't want you to have it.
Yeah,
I think
we're a long way from that.
I
well,
think
and Sema touched on what you just said too. Sema said later on in the special, she said, we're now looking at obesity as a spectrum, right? So there's some people that can do the calories in, calories out, and they do great, and everything looks good, and their numbers get better, and they feel better in their body, and this and that. But then you have the other end of the spectrum that doesn't work, right? And they need the medication.
Dr. Toomer on an episode recently said, she always drops these gems, but and she was saying, listen, like, because I was at one time we talked, and she was like, she's talking about she loves going to concerts and she loves Lizzo, and she was like, nobody can tell me Lizzo's not healthy. I see her singing and doing a flute and running back and forth all across the stage. She ain't even breathing hard. Like, she's got this. And then recently I said to her, yeah, because because she had said before, like, health doesn't have a size. And then I was like, yeah, and I go, because health doesn't have a size. And she goes, but it has an expiration date. Like, that's the thing, is this does eventually go there. It may take a certain amount of time, but even though your numbers are great now, because I was always overweight or obese, I've always been obese. I can't even think of a time when I wasn't, honestly. And my numbers were always great, until they weren't. That's the thing. And so I think if they're going to let their disease progress, that's their choice. It's their body. You know what I mean? And we should all be able to do what we want with our bodies. And I think that's fine, but they shouldn't come at us and tell us what we need to be doing with ours. Like, come on, like, two wrongs, come on. Anyway. All right. We can play the next clip. Everybody cool? You got something, Lee? Go ahead.
Well, I had a few, I'm sorry. I had a couple thoughts.
Okay.
So for going back to Brandi's comment about cancer, and I don't remember what was in the clip versus what I saw, but they were very careful to say they're not equating. It's not cancer. It's not the same as obesity. It's just, it's more of the terminology that you're using when you're talking about people who have cancer and people who have obesity. So, I mean, I want to make sure that's clear. Nobody's trying to say the two are in any way similar. And then whether you want to call it a disease or not, I kind of understand the language issue, but the other thing that I think Dr. Fatima was referring to it oftentimes was a dysregulation. And so if you prefer to say you have a dysregulation instead of disease, I guess that's fine, and then
that's usually not what I say. It goes along with, I'm just effed up somewhere.
I'm effed up. But Lizzo comes up a lot. And here's the thing. Anytime you're looking at population-wide data, there's going to be people who don't fit that, so she's doing great, and she is apparently otherwise very healthy. That doesn't mean that being that big as in a population-wide basis is going to be a good thing, or and you walk a fine line, because if she's choosing to be in that body, that's great, and if I choose to be in a smaller body, that's also great. And so, but you can't assume that I'm healthy in a smaller body or that she's unhealthy in a bigger body. And that's just, that was the whole thing with that conversation, Brent.
That's such a good point, Lee. You can't make an assumption because someone's in a smaller body that they're well. It's not right.
And the terminology of disease, dysregulation, the bottom line is, it's not your fault. It's not
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And Brandi, I want to say, like, that's kind of, I don't want you to think I was like coming at you, but I do want you to realize it's not your fault. It's important. It is not a willpower thing at all. I do not think that you are the person that, like, I don't want you to think that you're the person that went and, like, there's something wrong with me. I'm just totally messed up in the head. Like, we have all been there. We have all been like, the party went home at night and I'm standing at the counter shoving the leftovers into my face. Right here. Because I didn't eat. I ate like a bird while everybody was there. Right.
And I was obsessing about what I'm going to like inhale when I get home. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't, and I don't want to get emotional, like keeping bringing up my mom, but my mom did that about her alcoholism. My mom always used to say, like, when something would go bad, she'd be like, I'm just effed up. I'm just a horrible human being. I'm a bad person and whatever. And my mom didn't work on like that mental aspect of things. So I challenge you to try to do that for yourself, because there's nothing wrong with you, right? It's not you. It's not a willpower thing. It's not because you don't want to do better.
I love you.
You can do better. like, thank you. So now that you're working on yourself and you're on these medications, you can do better, right? But it's because you fix that dysregulation in your body, not because not because you were a bad person all of a sudden become a great person. It's because you fixed that
that's
issue
true.
up
Because
here.
if you would take phentermine, right? That's an appetite suppression, does nothing, right? It just suppresses your appetite.
I still had the fixation.
And this one's working, right?
I don't think that I don't have something wrong with me or that I need to, like, I don't beat myself up anymore. I used to. I used to beat myself up a lot, and I used to hate the former me. And it wasn't until probably about, I don't know, less than a year ago that I was like, a light came on and I was like, guess what? She's the one who did the work. She's the one who made the decision. She was the brave one. You owe her. Talking about myself in the third person.
Totally, Brandi. That's awesome.
You owe her to keep going. You owe her to. Where's my sister? You owe her to keep going and doing this. And so I guess that's why my whole platform is about this, because if one person sees my story, they see my before, they see my now, they'll be like, oh my God. Or I can't talk about it as much on TikTok because of their BS, but I'm trying very hard to work on that anyway. But just, thank you, Lydia. I did not think that you were coming at me in any way. This is definitely a safe space. Kat, thank you so much for your suggestions. And let's roll the beat.
Okay.
The beat.
more. No, bean footage is a while away. We got a couple more clips for bean footage. All right, here we go.
Adipose stores, no matter how many times, because you all have watched me diet, it's a recurring thing because my body always seems to want to go back to a certain weight.
Absolutely. And that's that idea of weight set point, okay?
So that is real.
That is completely real. The brain knows where it wants to be, and it's going to do whatever it can to bring you back to that.
That was a big one. That was a big one. Because that's what it's doing, right? The brain wants to get you back there, so it makes you want to go overeat.
Yeah.
It makes you want to binge.
I'm so glad.
It knows that's how you gain weight.
Something.
Because your body fights to get back to that point. Yep.
Yeah. Your body wants to be in your body was in that homeostasis for so long, right?
Yes.
And so your body's just like, get me back. Get me back. I don't like it down here. I want it right back up there where we felt great all the time.
Weight Watcher.
Right. Just saying. We'll get to it. It's coming in a couple clips.
Sorry. It's coming.
But
that's coming.
But that's what
deep,
Dr.
right?
Fatima
But that's really where I was the most successful, honestly.
Talking about. Dr. Fatima, and even, I'm not sure if you all's doctors said this, mine did. She asked me the first week, she said, what has been your lowest weight in the past 7 to 10 years? And I said, and I had to think about it. And I was like, well, I think like 170, 165. You know what she told me? She said, you'll get to 160.
Yeah.
What? And she said, you'll get to 160. You might get a little lower. I didn't, at the time, she didn't say it was set point. But she could calculate that. And I had never heard that. And I was like, what does that mean?
It just blew my mind. I just made a connection. Oh my God.
Yeah. And now that's why we say just keep going. It's even when you get discouraged, just keep going, because now what she said at the beginning is starting to click. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah,
now I see why I was going between 158 and 160, where I was just like teetering.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, hot darn it, she was right. Dang.
Yeah. Okay. They do that sometimes. Sometimes they're right. You know.
Sometimes tell people a lot about set point.
Fat stores. Yeah.
Like when people are frustrated about hitting a really hard stall. And I always ask,
my life on the stall.
Were you ever exactly that weight for a long period of time? Ever in your life? Like if you're like, oh, I'm at 210. I can't get past 210. I've been at 210 for 3 months. And I always say, were you ever at 210 for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years of your life? And they'll go, well, yeah, right about that, 210, 215-ish. That's a set point. Your body remembers that. Your body remembers that was homeostasis for a long time.
And that you were okay. And that you were okay.
That's right.
And we know we can survive right here.
Right
it
here.
Doesn't realize that keeping us like that is making it worse in the future. It doesn't care, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is controversial. This is controversial. The set point stuff. I see lots of videos back and forth, especially with the calorie counting folks, because they're like, calories in, calories out. It doesn't matter. There's no set points. There's no anything. You just need to eat less and move more, or and so it's like I think people get a lot of mixed messages. I was really glad to hear this, that, she was like very, very matter of fact about it too. Like, nope, really? It's totally real.
It's a thing.
And I was like, oh, all right, nice. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Well, and I loved that Dr. Fatima was so sciencey about every answer she gave. She would say how she, say what she knew as a professional that she is, and then use the science to back it up.
Right. Like peer-reviewed and everything. I'm just kidding.
Well, she actually is
what
peer-reviewed.
As I'm saying, it has to be
amazing.
I was being facetious.
Oh, yeah. She's amazing. But yeah, she had all the science for it.
My shero, honey.
She is.
She's awesome.
Dr. Fatima is my shero. If she ever comes on one of my flights, I'm totally fanning out. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
She's amazing.
Instant upgrade.
Isn't it funny, like how we used to hate doctors and now we have some that we just like feel so strongly about?
I
used to hate them.
Like I would say 180. Like I just have a new appreciation. I know that there's doctors out there that are really very caring people, right? Love what they do. Very passionate. Dr. Fatima is definitely like the passion.
We need her on the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
she would do it. I think she would do it.
Yeah. Cool.
I may be meeting her pretty soon.
Whoop. Better invite her on
Put it out there.
Look.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else before the next clip? Nothing else yet? We got more. Here it comes.
Okay. I'm ready.
Only
Let's go.
30% of people stay on it at 1 year.
Why?
Well, we are learning. It probably has to do with cost, access. It has to do with side effects, and maybe people aren't having enough support. Maybe people don't know that it might be something that you have to be on long term.
Mm-hmm.
And
Lee again. More Lee.
Lee.
Lee. They loved you. The camera loved you, Lee.
I know, but
Always there.
I don't know. This whole thing has been so crazy that I was on that show. I don't even know. That's a whole nother topic, but I didn't even know I was in that clip. I just saw myself and I was like, oh shoot, that's me.
They love
me.
Okay,
but I mean, this is, the cost she mentions. It's like, that is a huge reason people come off. And
100% it's the friggin' cost. Yes.
It's like I love how much people love on Mounjaro and Wegovy and all the things, but part of me hates that Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are getting some credit for being good because they've developed these medicines, because these are not particularly good companies as far as maybe they're good companies, but
opioid crisis.
How about talking about Oprah giving out a show for free? How about reducing the cost because you're saving billions of lives potentially with this medicine? Well, you can bet your bottom. They are not going to do that, are they?
We roast them just as hard. We roast them just as hard.
Yeah.
We do roast them. But I just was like, man, when she said cost, I was like, oh man, these companies, because I just met with a friend up in Canada, and she can get it for like $250 or something. I can't remember what she said, but like it was right. Like what we be paying for at a compound. That's what they're getting the name brand stuff for. And why? I'm literally like just south of the border from her. It's because the companies can charge here more, and so they do. Of course they do.
They allow them
anyway.
But that's
so we're paying for the rest of the world.
The government.
You raising your hand for Brandi? Are you
right? So I would like to piggyback off of what he just said with Canada.
Yeah.
My insurance gets my Ozempic from a Canadian pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So
I remember you posted about that.
Right. So Partners Health Alliance is a company that works with my PB, I don't know, my pharmacy benefits, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So because I had a high A1C, I was never diagnosed type 2, but because I had the high A1C, my Partners Health Group Alliance calls them up and says, hey, we're going to send you this 3-month prescription, mail this to Brandi. So they mail me, and they give it to me at $0 copay because they get it at such a reduced cost. Isn't that horrible?
That's crazy.
Like, I mean, great for me, but
$225 for Judy.
Yeah, and somebody just pointed out in the chats that Eli Lilly isn't a bad employer, and I didn't mean to say that they were not a good employer. I'm saying they are a profit-driven company, and their motives are not pure. Maybe they're a good employer, though.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Brandi.
I'm not sure anybody's.
No, it's okay.
I don't think any multi-billion-dollar company is like a pure arm. I don't that's just me.
Multi-billion status.
I'm going to tell you, I believe the $25 coupon was not a mistake. It was very calculated.
Yes.
They knew exactly what they were doing. 100%. They knew everybody and their mother was going to want this drug.
Yeah.
Get them hooked
and then they'd have
on it.
real world data for obesity.
Has anybody never watched anything about what is that?
A lot of money, Rachel. Yes.
What did she say?
Our health or lack thereof.
I believe it was truly calculated. They knew exactly what they were doing. They had the funding.
I think what you're talking about, Brandi, is OxyContin. When they flooded the market with OxyContin and everybody got hooked on OxyContin, and they made billions and billions and billions of dollars off of that medication. And then there's an addiction problem,
but we're not in addict mode. But I mean, I'm not addict. But anyways, but my point is that I'd do some sketchy shit to get my medication. I wasn't the way that I was. Like,
I just wanted to say, when we talked about the cost, and you all probably saw this, and we talked about this briefly. Australia pretty much told Eli Lilly, go and find somebody else to do it, or in the words of those of us that were born in the 70s and early 80s, F around and find out. Because let me tell you something, what you're not going to do is come to Australia and have these inflated prices for Mounjaro. Australia told Eli Lilly, oh, you're going to need to lower your price if you want to sell Mounjaro in Australia.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think enough people are talking about that, because pretty much the government said, get it together. You're not coming here. And our government, and I'm not government shaming, I'm just saying
we don't have a government like that stands up for us like that.
They're not going to stand up to that because you have the lobbyists that are giving our, lawmakers free trips,
money,
free cars, money. So they're greasing the palms.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
then
a miracle.
You
it's a miracle.
The PBMs who get all of these kickbacks legally. They get them legally through legislation. So if you go back about 10 years, and I'm just the history nut, but it's so interesting. But I love what Australia did. Australia said, no, you're not coming in here until you lower the price of this medication.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, plenty of countries have done that for sure.
And then there's
go ahead.
That's kind of how I feel about no, I won't. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to let it go.
Okay. Lori, what you got?
Well, then you've got the issue of Ozempic, Wegovy, same medication. Why does Wegovy cost more?
Yeah.
The only thing different, and I know you get into, the pen is different. So make
that's not why
expensive method of delivering it. Put it in a vial like Mounjaro was gotten approval for.
Why? It's because from a marketing standpoint, they would look evil if they were charging diabetics more, but they don't look evil when they're charging obese people more money. That's why.
But they did try to gouge diabetics with their insulin prices. These same companies.
Look,
and they got in big trouble for that. The insulin was a ridiculous markup for nothing more than profit.
And they also
But
have
anyway, sorry.
Look,
they also,
look, thank you, Lee, because Eli Lilly got held to the fire for that. And Eli Lilly has been charging for insulin that so many people
actually do need to live.
You need that to live, because unfortunately I'm a type 2 diabetic. I have type 2 diabetes. It sucks. It sucks. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It sucks big time. I have diabetic neuropathy. This disease, and by no means am I saying feel sorry for me or anything. No.
Yeah.
But if you can put a face to it, it's affecting every organ in my body.
Yeah.
Every organ.
Yeah.
Because I have type 2 diabetes and obesity, I have a higher chance for getting stomach paralysis, even without a GLP-1.
Yeah.
And Kat and Kim and Lydia see me at my worst.
Yeah.
And it's bad, y'all.
We do.
And then on top of obesity. And one thing is that I applaud each and every person in the live chat, each and every person here on the panel for taking a stand for your health. Because so many times we have been shamed, and it's like, oh, there is nothing wrong with you. Oh, you just need to push the plate away. That's what I was told. You just need to push the plate away.
Push the plate away.
My brother-in-law told me that a doctor actually told him that. Just
sure. I've had.
Well, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Because when I was growing up, I was told to clean my plate. And then all of a sudden,
starving children in China.
So I was told both. It just depended on who was talking. One person would say, you need to clean your plate. And then the next person would say, well, if you want to lose weight, you just need to stop doing this exercise.
Yeah.
Right. Stop shoveling the food in your mouth. So it would always just depend on who was talking. Right.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together. The Plus Sides Podcast, because every story deserves to be heard, every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Ro, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Ro apart? Ro understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Ro, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Ro is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit ro.co/plussides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's ro.co/plussides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.